Let's talk about the rising cost of food in Nigeria and the directive by President Bola Tinubu that the Special Presidential Committee on Emergency Food Intervention should immediately take action to address the worsening food security crisis in the country. And joining us for more on that is the National Secretary of the National Rice Producers, Processors, Millers and Marketers Association of Nigeria, Adam Daban. Thank you very much, Mr. Daban, for joining us on TVC News at 1. We have an issue. Yes, we have an issue at hand, Mr. Daban, and the federal government believes you hold the key to resolving it, at least to a good extent. And they have made a directive that you and your colleagues should open up your grain reserves. Are you willing and ready to do that?
That the government is directed on what?
The government has directed that millers and grain producers should open up their food reserves so that food will be available in the country and will be able to beat down the high cost of food items. So are you willing to do that? What's your reaction?
We are very, very willing. We are Nigerians, and we want to make sure we eat. We cannot produce and people will not eat. We want to produce so that people will eat. That is why we are Nigerians. We are not foreigners. Our people cannot go hungry. We want our people to eat. So we are willing. It is not our making, it's not our fault.
I like the fact that you are committed to this. It means that we are making good progress. But before now, why do you think, prices of food items have been going up?
The major problem we have in agriculture is what is making the price of food go up now. The fact is that we are not producing enough food for our people, our populace. The population is growing very large every year, and we do not produce enough food. We are not producing enough food because our system is not mechanized. We are not producing enough food because the farmers are in the villages, and the villages are not accessible because of security problems. They are killing people every day in the villages. They are depriving people from going to the farm. The farmers can no longer farm because there are no security. People are dying every day in the villages. People are running away from villages to cities.
I hear you, Mr. Daban. They do not have
land to farm in the city. That is why food problem is becoming a problem to Nigeria.
I hear you, Mr. Daban. And the federal government has said that, okay, they are willing to do what it takes. As a matter of fact, there have been a series of meetings with the heads of security agencies and trying to resolve the security crisis so that farmers can actually access their farmland. But then, what is your call at this time towards enhancing mechanized farming in Nigeria?
The mechanized farming in Nigeria is a problem because we do not have the technology. We do not have the small industries to produce the small tools. We need industries, we need primary industries to produce those tools that were used for mechanizing, that we can use to go to the land to till the land, we can use to process the food, we can use to preserve the food. The primary industries are not there. Our iron and steel is rubbish. Our iron and steel is not working in Nigeria. The smelting companies are not working in Nigeria. Oshobo is not working in Nigeria. Ajakuta is not working in Nigeria. Atakpehil is not working in Nigeria. There is no raw material to produce primary industries. We need prime movers. We need prime movers. We need prime movers. You can see how much keke napep is coming into this country. Keke napep is produced from China, from India, and they're importing it to sell to us in Nigeria. We cannot even make the bolts of keke napep. We cannot even make the fans of keke napep.
I hear you, Mr. Daban. I hear you, Mr. Daban, and it's a whole lot, but it's important that we talk about solutions because that is what will take us out of where we are at the moment. So have you and your team at any point sought audience with the government, talk about the Minister of Agric, toward resolving this, to see how government can intervene to make your work easier so that Nigerians will have food to eat?
It is a continuous process. It has been a continuous process. The dialogue with government has been a continuous process. There are a lot of NGOs, there are a lot of foreign partners whom we are dialoguing with every day to talk with government to see that things are ameliorated. But the solutions are still far-fetched because of the bottlenecks of governance. There's a lot of bottlenecks in governance, and that is creating all our problems.
But with this directive by the federal government, are you optimistic that in the next few days, there would be lots of food available and the prices would be affordable for the average Nigerian?
I want you to appreciate the fact that for food to be available, food must be produced. We are now in the dry season. We are now in the off season. We have to do a lot of irrigation work. Apart from Jigawa, Niger, Taraba, and Kebbi, a few states, there are no other states that are doing serious irrigation job. If we don't do irrigation job, if we do not cultivate food 3 times in a year, the cycle of food production should be 3 times in a year. Food gets produced in 3 months. We must be able to produce 3 times in a year. And we cannot do that except there is irrigation. Irrigation has to be on because the places are dry now. In the next 1 week or 2 that we are going to get enough food in Nigeria, no, I am not subscribing to that because we have not produced the food. We have to work hard. We have to be in the farm now to make sure that rice is going to be out of on the street. If it's not produced, it cannot be available. Except you are going to go and import from outside. And then they will bring it and brandize it on the Nigerian street and say it is Nigerian rice. No! That will not feed us. That will not feed us. Because after a short time, it will be over. We need to produce. We need our irrigation system to work. We need our water resources to be up and doing. We need this of agriculture to make sure that we have enough tools to do mechanization.
All right, Mr. Daban.
Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has to be serious with us.
All right, Mr. Daban.
There's a lot of dialogue, but we're not getting solutions yet.
All right. We hope that there will be solutions in the days ahead. I thank you very sincerely for sharing your experiences and your, if I may call it, your challenges now.
And we give them time to do that. Thank you very much, and God bless us.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Daban, National Secretary, National Rice Producers, Processors, Millers and Marketers Association.